Hello again, and welcome to the New York Injury Law Show, episode 4. I'm Scott Peterson from Durazio Peterson LLP. And the purpose of the show is to provide you with information about injury cases in the state of New York, answer some common questions, and hopefully guide you to make the right decisions through difficult times and through a difficult and often complicated process. So today we're going to talk about a case example, and one of the things that people ask us when they come to us is, what does this process look like? How do I go from dealing with an injury to getting through all the way to the end of the process? So today we'll use an example of a municipal police officer who was injured in the line of duty, who was going about his business and was injured in a car accident as it was caused by another driver. So his car was T-boned during the course of his duty. This particular police officer received some benefits under the workers' comp system, but those benefits weren't enough to make him whole. Okay, they did not cover or compensate him for the pain and suffering that he was dealing with, which was pretty significant given that the accident resulted in a pretty severe injury. So the police officer has this separate workers' compensation claim and comes to our office looking for help with the claim against the driver who hit his car. In this case, we went about doing an investigation. We went and collected all of the relevant police records, did some accident investigation, photographs, and obtained all of his medical records. We had early discussions with the insurance company for the other driver. In this situation, they were being somewhat difficult, and they did not make him a reasonable offer to settle the case short of a lawsuit. So at that point, we had two options. He could either accept the offer that was made at the time, which was less than we believed was the real value of the pain and suffering that he'd been dealing with, or we could move forward into litigation and file a lawsuit and go down those steps. Ultimately, in that case, we chose to do the latter, and under our guidance, we filed a complaint and commenced a lawsuit to obtain or seeking damages related to his accident against the other driver. Now, when we say the other driver, the reality is that the other driver was represented by an insurance company. So that insurance company hired a lawyer for the other driver, and we went through the steps of the litigation process. That included taking a deposition of our client, as well as a deposition of the other individual. At the deposition of our client, the other attorney asked questions about the accident itself, the nature of the injuries, the severity and long-term implications of the injuries, and anything else that would help the other attorney evaluate the potential case. And when I say evaluate, I mean they look at the case to see how significantly is this person injured, and also how does this person present as a witness? Because if the case ever goes to trial, one of the most important things is how the plaintiff will present, in other words, what impression they will make to a jury. In this case, our client was well-polished, was professional, and made a very good impression at the deposition. After the deposition, the other side asked if they could conduct what's known as a independent medical examination. And I use that word in quotes because we actually don't believe that it's independent. It's a situation where the defense is permitted to hire a doctor to perform an examination of the injured party to confirm how significantly they're injured. That happened in this case. And after that, we then scheduled a trial. And as the case was coming up for trial, the judge in the case, as often happens, scheduled a settlement conference. And after several hours of negotiations, we were able to get the case settled for significantly more than was initially offered to the client prior to the suit. That is not always the case. It does happen that there are occasions where an insurance company will dig in and will never offer a penny more than they offered before the suit. In this case, we felt that our client was not being made a full, reasonable offer. We litigated the case, and we got our client what we felt he ultimately deserved. So that's just one example of how this process plays out. There are many, many other examples of how the injury case proceeds in New York. We've got lots of experience with all different kinds, and if you have questions about it, please feel free to give us a call. Thanks for watching. Until next time.